The NBA draft has just wrapped up, and the excitement is palpable as we dive into the top 30 picks and their potential impact on their new teams. The Atlanta Hawks kicked off by selecting Zaccharie Risacher, a 6.9 feet forward from France. Risacher, a promising two-way player with guard skills, hit 39% of his three-pointers. Though only 19, he needs to improve his strength and playmaking. The Hawks see him as a versatile asset for both offense and defense. Next, the Washington Wizards picked Alex Sayre, a 7-foot center from Australia known for his athleticism and shot blocking prowess. Despite his 7.4 feet wingspan and defensive capabilities, Sayre needs to work on his strength and three-point shooting. The Wizards are excited about his potential as a rim protector and versatile defender. Next, the Houston Rockets, with a pick from Brooklyn, selected Reed Sheppard, a 6.2 feet guard from Kentucky. Sheppard's shooting is elite, hitting 52.1% of his threes and 83% of his free throws. Averaging 4.5 assists, he shows potential for both guard spots. The Rockets will rely on his catch-and-shoot ability to provide instant offense. Next, the San Antonio Spurs picked Stephen Castle, a 6.6 feet guard from UConn. Castle is a strong combo guard with defensive potential. He needs to improve his outside shot, but the Spurs see him as a player who can immediately contribute defensively while developing his offensive game. Next, the Detroit Pistons selected Ron Holland Jr., a 6.7 feet forward from G League Ignite. Holland brings versatility and defensive upside with his 6.11 feet wingspan. Despite a challenging season, the Pistons are banking on his potential and athleticism to develop into a valuable two-way player. Next, the Charlotte Hornets chose Tidjane Salaün, a 6.9 feet forward from France. Salaün, with a nearly 7.2 feet wingspan, offers long-term potential to stretch defenses and harass perimeter players. The Hornets will develop his shooting and defensive skills. Next, the Portland Trail Blazers picked Donovan Clingan, a 7.2 feet center from UConn. Clingan is an imposing rim protector with a 7.7 feet wingspan. Despite needing improvement in free throw shooting and defending in space, the Blazers see Clingan as a defensive anchor in the paint. Next, San Antonio Spurs, with another pick, chose Rob Dillingham, a 6.1 feet guard from Kentucky. Dillingham shows potential as a scoring playmaker, averaging 15.2 points and 3.9 assists. Despite his size, his scoring ability is an exciting addition for the Spurs. Next, Memphis Grizzlies selected Zach Edey, a 7.4 feet center from Purdue. Edey, a two-time AP Men's National Player of the Year, led the nation in scoring and rebounding. His massive presence and 7.11 feet wingspan make him a dominant force, though his defensive mobility is a concern. The Grizzlies hope Edey's scoring and rebounding will translate to the NBA. Next, the Utah Jazz picked Cody Williams, a 6.7 feet forward from Colorado. Williams is a versatile wing who shot 55.2% overall and 41.5% from three. With a 7.1 feet wingspan, he needs to improve as a rebounder. The Jazz believe Williams' shooting and versatility will be key assets. Next, the Chicago Bulls selected Matas Puzelis, a 6.9 feet forward from G League Ignite. Puzelis can exploit matchups, scoring over smaller defenders and driving past bigger ones. Despite averaging 2.1 blocks, he needs to improve his three-point shooting. The Bulls are excited about his scoring potential and defensive versatility. Next, the Oklahoma City Thunder, with a pick from Houston, chose Nikola Topic, a 6.6 feet guard from Serbia. Topic has size and playmaking ability but needs to improve his outside shot and address past knee injuries. The Thunder see Topic as a potential playmaker. Next, the Sacramento Kings picked Devin Carter, a 6.2 feet guard from Providence. Carter improved his scoring and three-point shooting last season. The Kings are excited about his athleticism and scoring ability, adding depth to their backcourt. Next, the Portland Trail Blazers, with a pick from Golden State via Boston and Memphis, selected Carlton Bub Carrington, a 6.4 feet guard from Pittsburgh. Carrington averaged 13.8 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 4.1 assists. He needs to improve his three-point shooting, but the Blazers see him as a versatile guard. Next, the Miami Heat chose Kel'el Ware, a 7.0 feet center from Indiana. Ware averaged 15.9 points and 9.9 rebounds while making 42.5% of his threes. He must work on his free throw shooting, but the Heat believe Ware's scoring and rebounding will boost their front court. Next, Philadelphia's 76ers selected Jared McCain, a 6.2 feet guard from Duke. McCain quickly became one of Duke's toughest competitors, shooting 41% from 3 and 89% from the free throw line. The 76ers see McCain as a reliable shooter and fierce competitor. Next, Los Angeles Lakers picked Dalton Knecht, a 6.5 feet guard from Tennessee. Knecht is a big scorer in off-the-bounce and catch-and-shoot scenarios, averaging 21.7 points and shooting 39.7% from 3. There are concerns about his defensive mobility, but the Lakers hope his scoring will provide an offensive spark. Next, Orlando Magic selected Tristan da Silva, a 6.8 feet forward from Colorado. Da Silva is a veteran scorer from Germany, averaging 15.9 points and shooting 39.5% from 3. The Magic see his experience and shooting as valuable additions. Next, the Toronto Raptors, with a pick from Indiana, chose Jakob Walter, a 6.4 feet guard from Baylor. Walter is a one-and-done prospect known for his fearless shooting. Despite his 34% shooting from 3, the Raptors are intrigued by his scoring ability. Next, Cleveland Cavaliers picked Jalen Tyson, a 6.6 feet forward from California. Tyson's offensive game took a big leap last season, averaging 19.6 points and shooting 37.8% from 3. The Cavaliers see Tyson's scoring and versatility as key assets. Next, the New Orleans Pelicans, with a pick from Milwaukee, selected Yves Missi, a 6.11 feet center from Baylor. Missi is a raw prospect who showed athleticism as a lob threat and shot blocker. The Pelicans hope to develop his potential. Next, Phoenix Suns picked Darren Holmes II, a 6.9 feet forward center from Dayton. Holmes was the Atlantic 10 co-player and Defensive Player of the Year, averaging 19.3 points and 8.3 rebounds while expanding his range to 38.6% from 3. The Suns are excited about his scoring and defensive capabilities. Next, Milwaukee Bucks, with a pick from New Orleans, selected Ad Johnson, a 6.4 feet guard from Illawarra in Australia. Johnson, a former Texas recruit, played in the NBL and has potential. The Bucks hope to develop his skills. Next, the New York Knicks, with a pick from Dallas, chose Keyshawn George, a 6.7 feet forward from Miami. George offers long-term potential as a shooter with size, hitting 40.8% of his threes. The Knicks are intrigued by his shooting but need to see more inside the arc. New York Knicks also picked Pacom Dadiet, a 6.8 feet forward from Germany. Dadiet is a developing player with potential as a rim finisher and three-point shooter. The Knicks see his versatility and defensive potential as key assets. Next, the Washington Wizards, with a pick from LA Clippers via Dallas and Oklahoma City, selected Dylan Jones, a 6.5 feet guard from Weber State. Jones is a scorer with a strong frame, averaging 20.8 points and 5.2 assists. An elite rebounder, Jones averaged 10.5 boards over his last 3 seasons. The Wizards hope his scoring and rebounding will translate well to the NBA. Next, Minnesota Timberwolves picked Terrence Shannon Jr., a 6.6 feet guard from Illinois. Shannon, an AP third-team All-American, was the nation's No.3 scorer, averaging 23.0 points. Known for his downhill attacking and 36% shooting from 3, Shannon recently resolved a legal case, which had been closely watched by scouts. The Timberwolves believe in his scoring prowess and potential. Next, Denver Nuggets selected Ryan Dunn, a 6.6 feet forward from Virginia. Dunn has massive defensive potential with a nearly 7.2 feet wingspan, capable of protecting the rim or the perimeter. However, his offensive game remains a question. The Nuggets see Dunn as a defensive specialist with room to grow offensively. Next, the Utah Jazz, with a pick from Oklahoma City via Toronto and Indiana, chose Isaiah Collier, a 6.3 feet guard from USC. Collier can attack the rim with his strong frame and quickness, averaging 16.3 points and 4.3 assists. However, he averaged 3.3 turnovers for a 15-18 team. The Jazz hope to harness his aggressive play and refine his decision-making. Finally, the Boston Celtics selected Baylor Scheierman, a 6.6 feet guard/forward from Creighton. Scheierman, a South Dakota State transfer, averaged 15.5 points and made 197 three-pointers, shooting 37.3% from beyond the arc. While lacking elite athleticism, he must develop defensively. The Celtics see his shooting as a valuable asset for their roster. And there you have it, the top 30 picks from this year's NBA draft, each bringing unique skills and potential to their new teams. It's going to be exciting to see how these players develop and impact the league. Stay tuned for more updates and analysis as the new season approaches.